Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Kelvin here. The stock market is where gods like Warren Buffett are born, authors like Wall Street bets pump stocks. Then you have investors like me trying to make money so that we can afford fish at the Chai Fan store. But have you ever wondered this? How does the stock market work? Like, why does the stock price can change so fast? Why when more people buy, the stock will go up, but when more people sell, the stock will go down? And why some stocks are more expensive than others? Why? Well, the short answer is magic. Just kidding, it's not magic. There's a much simpler reason than that. For the longest time, ever since I knew that the stock market exists, I've always wondered about these questions. And I'm pretty sure that most of you want to know that too. So in this video, I'll tell you how the stock market works, what drives the stock price, and what should you do with all this information. So without further ado, let's start. Let's start by answering the most basic question. How does the stock price move? If you go and ask Google, how does the stock price move? Then you will get the answer, supply and demand law, which to be frank is like got say, like no say like that. So let me try to use Airbnb for example, because we all miss staying in Airbnb overseas. True story. When we see this price, a common misconception is that this is the price where we can buy the stock. Well, yes, but no. This price is not the price where we can buy the stock, but rather it's the price where the last transaction took place. So for example, right now, Airbnb is $194. That means someone last bought Airbnb at this price. Or in other words, someone thinks that Airbnb is worth this price and he or she is willing to pay $194 to buy this stock. So simple. And because everyone has different information of the company, different perception of the stock, that means that everyone will have different prices that they are willing to pay. Like for example, when GameStop hit all-time high, we can see that there are people who went YOLO and bought GameStop at $480, while someone else only want to buy the stock at $266. So even though everyone who bought GameStop say that they like the stock, there's a big difference in everyone's perception on what the stock should cost. So let's say Tesla right now is $650. You can do what you always do in carousel. Try to lowball and say stuff like, expensive lah bro, come, we settle at $50. Quick deal. If you're like that, the sun come up from the website, you will also never be able to get the stock, simply because no one wants to sell Tesla at $50. On the other hand, maybe you have Tesla, you can try to sell the stock at $10,000, but you will wait long because there's no one who wants to buy Tesla at $10,000 right now. They'll be like, you sell I can buy at $650, why buy from you at $10,000 yeah? That's the beauty of supply and demand in the free market. All of us will only pay the price which we are comfortable with, and that's what determines the stock price. By the way, this whole concept of supply and demand is based on something called efficient market hypothesis. It says that stocks will always trade at a fair value based on all information available. So let's say the famous fruit company, Apple, trades at $120 because people are willing to buy Apple at $120. But then tomorrow Apple announces that it will sell a flying car that can self-drive and shoot rockets. All of a sudden, everyone who saw this news will be willing to buy Apple at a much higher price because they think that the car will sell very well and Apple will do well in the future, which will bring Apple stock straight to the moon. Everyone quickly wants to buy it at the current price before the stock goes up, which ironically will make Apple stock go up even when the car is not out yet. But you know what's out? My very own sponsored video. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes for all sorts of topics. They got tons of classes on personal finance, stock investing, and options trading. And right now, I'm learning how to further increase my productivity. The class is titled Productivity for Creatives, Building a System that Brings Out Your Best by Thomas Frank. One of the things which I learned is that if I follow a schedule, I will be able to bring out creativity and productivity more often. The first 1,000 to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. After that, the annual membership is less than $10 a month, which is super affordable for all the things that you can possibly learn. Sure, you will support this channel, but more importantly, you will start a new chapter in your life of continuously learning new skills, which is what me and this channel stands for. With that being said, let's get back to learning how the stock market works. So now that we know how the stock price moves, let me show you one more interesting stuff. All of these buy-sell transactions are handled automatically by something called limit order book. Let's use a simple example that even my ama can understand this. This is the infamous golden burger where waterfish likes to eat. True story. Right now, this burger is priced at $460. Remember, this $460 is not the price where you can buy the burger. It's just the last price where someone bought the burger. In the limit order book, there will be buy cues, also known as bid. B for B, and sell queues, also known as us. Here we can see that in the buy queue, there's 2 persons who wants to buy at $450, 1 person at $440, and so on. On the sell queue, there's 5 people who wants to sell at $470, 2 persons at $480, and so on. So let's say Xiaoming wants to buy this golden burger at $440. He will join the queue at $440. There are 3 people in front of him, 2 persons at $450 and 1 person at $440. Only when these 3 orders are filled, then it will be Xiaoming's turn. But if there's someone who wants to buy the burger at $450, he or she will cut Xiaoming's queue. Because the seller of course will want to sell at the highest possible price ma. $450 is better than $440. In that case, Xiaoming will have to continue waiting. So that means if Xiaoming wants to lowball and buy the burger at $5, he will join the queue at $5. And there will be tons of people in front of him. Now let's look at the sell queue. It's just the exact opposite from buy queue. When you sell, the lowest price will have the highest priority because buyers will always want to buy as cheap as possible. In this example, if Xiaoming wants to sell at $470, he will join the 470 queue and is 6 in line. So that was a simple explanation of limit order book. In Tiger Brokers, you can see this under market depth on the right hand side. On the left side, we have bid or buy queue. Here you can see all the orders waiting to buy Tesla at different prices. Then on the right side, you have the ask or sell orders. Everyone is waiting to sell Tesla at different prices. Whenever you buy or sell a stock and you use limit order, you will join the queue. For example, if I only want to buy Tesla at $500 and not any extra, I will key in 500, then join the queue. However, there's a way to cut queue, which is to use market order. When buying a stock, just choose market order. Notice that I won't be able to set the price. In that case, the system will just choose the best possible price for me. Personally, this is how I normally buy my stocks. I don't like to time the market and I'm fine with paying the extra few cents. And because I'm planning to hold long term, saving the extra few cents will make me rich like a Saudi prince, and spending the extra few cents will make me poor. Now that you know how the stock market works, the next question is, why is the stock price the way it is? Like why Bank of America is just $40 while Berkshire Hathaway is over $9,000? There are 2 main reasons why the stock is priced like that. The first reason is fundamentals, used mainly by long-term investors. They will use many different ratios to determine the stock's value. One of the more popular ones is price to earnings ratio. So let's say stock A is $60 per share and its earnings per share is $2. That means the stock is trading at 30 times its earnings. Meanwhile, stock B is $20 per share and its earnings per share is $5. That means that the stock is trading at 4 times of its earnings. In this example, stock B may be a better value because it has a lower PE ratio. In other words, the lower PE ratio, the lesser you have to pay for every $1 of the company's earnings. PE ratio will be different for every sector. For example, banks, which are very stable, may only have 1350 PE ratio, while internet companies like Netflix may have $92 PE ratio. That's because people feel that internet companies are able to grow faster than banks, so they are willing to pay a much higher price to buy the stock, which in turn will drive the stock price up. There are a lot more ratios which you can use to value whether a stock is cheap or not, but it's already an entire topic on its own. The second reason stock price moves is because of technicals, used mainly by momentum traders. Generally, this has a larger effect on stock price in the short term. For example, GameStop was able to go from $20 all the way to $480 in January was because of them. And by them, I mean almost everyone from Wall Street bets. These traders will buy in, causing the stock price to increase, which will attract more traders, causing the stock price to increase even further, causing more traders to come in, and so on and so on. Then all of a sudden, some traders decide to sell, causing the stock price to decrease, which will scare away traders, causing the stock price to decrease even further. That's why stock price can fluctuate like crazy in the short term. These 2 reasons combined, fundamentals and technicals, will affect how the stock price moves. Now, for the most important question, is stock price important at all? Yes, only if you are planning to buy for the short term, like 1 second, 1 minute or 1 day. It is very important because every cent will make a difference whether you make or lose money. But if you're like me, who buy stock for the long term, I will say stock price is not as important. You won't care how much the stock is tomorrow, next week or next month. You only care what is the stock price in 10 years time. Like imagine if you own an HDB, then there's a cable uncle downstairs who shouts, "Ah boy, today your HDB worth $400,000 ah. Then the next day he shouts, "Hey boy, today your HDB worth $400,000, $200 ah." Then the next day, you won't see him anymore because someone called the police and he's now at IMH. It's really pointless to constantly check the price of something that you are planning to hold long term. As Benjamin Graham once said, in the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it is a weighing machine. Take for example Amazon, there may be many ups and downs like a high school puppy love relationship, but in the end, if the stock price is good, it will only go in one direction, up. If you can understand this simple fact, you will evolve into the one true god of stocks, like Warren Buffett Koko. And that's all for today. Hopefully now you will know a little better on how the stock market works. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday and sometimes Friday.